there's no doubt about it. We'll make a fortune. I can see it now.
See what?
The sign. Stinch and Call. Wholesale 30-year.
Why don't it read Call and Stinch? Any reason why my name shouldn't come first?
Because it was my idea. That makes me the senior partner.
I don't think I like the idea. We ain't never set no traps, let alone try to catch anything in them.
No, I guarantee there's nothing to it. The man I bought the traps from gave me a demonstration. Here, I'll show you. First, you press down on that string there like that. And then you flip this over and latch it like that. And there you are.
What happens next?
Then we find a beaver slide, plant the bait, and here comes Mr. Beaver. He's reaching for the bait and... Ow!
Do you have to put your hand in it every time?
Don't just sit there. Get me out of this.
You boys having a little trouble?
Well, if it ain't Mr. Boone, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Well, I'm not so sure the feeling is mutual after all the trouble you caused us the last time you were here.
We hope you can find it and you forget the past, Mr. Boone. We both reformed. Ain't we, Stinch?
We've seen the error of our ways. As you can see, we're about to embark on a legitimate business.
You mean you two are going trapping?
Yes, sir. As you can see, we're just checking out the equipment.
Well, make sure you don't get your hand in somebody else's pocket instead of a beaver trap.
Look, Indians!
It's been many moons since the chief of the Creeks have come to visit his friends. Why have you come here?
Boone has heard that there may be war between the Creeks and the Shawnee very soon.
I've heard it.
The elders of the tribe do not want this war. It is their wish to put an end to it before it starts.
Well, I'd sort of like to see the war stop myself, because if there is a war between you, some of my people may get hurt.
That is why I have come. Our friend Boone can be of help to us.
In what way?
This is my daughter, Little Fawn. It has been told to me that Lone Runner, son of the Shawnee chief, has looked upon her with favor. If a marriage between the two could be arranged, there would be lasting peace between us.
Well, why come to me?
There are young warriors among both tribes who do not wish to see this marriage take place. They do not want peace. They want war. So until this marriage takes place, I dare not travel through the land of the Shawnee. You wear the quipo of the Shawnee, the leather necklace that lets you walk through their country safely. It is our wish that you take my daughter to the Shawnee village to see if this marriage can be arranged.
That makes a good deal of sense, and it doesn't seem too high a price to stop a war.
In return, we give you much land, many trees, many fields for growing.
Well, that sounds fair enough.
Then it is agreed. I leave you my daughter.
Hey, wait a minute. Why have you got her tied up?
Because she does not wish this marriage. The white man's school has spoiled her. She has caused us much trouble on this trip.
Well, what makes you think she's not going to cause me a lot of trouble?
You are a white man. You will know how to treat her. We will return in 7 sleeps. You will arrange this marriage.
Fawn, something tells me your father gave me a rough package to deliver. Princess?
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream come true, was Daniel Boone. From a coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fighting'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a Boone, what a do.
Well, Mr. Boone, it looks like there's the answer to all our problems.
Our problem?
That war we was talking about. Looks like we got it stopped before it got started.
It may be your problem, but I've got a feeling my problem is just about to start. I've still got to take her to the Shawnee.
Well, I heard the chief say the Shawnee ain't going to give you no trouble. Not with that gadget they give you to wear around your neck.
It's not the Shawnee I'm worried about. It's Little Fawn.
Pretty little thing, ain't she?
Oh, yeah, she's pretty all right.
If I didn't know you, Mr. Boone, I'd say you was scared of her.
You don't know me very well. Because I am. Princess, you heard what your father said. Now, as long as we have to travel together, there's no reason why we shouldn't be friends.
Why should I be friends with you?
Well, why shouldn't we be?
You were helping my father force me into a marriage against my will.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say he's forcing you. It is your custom, isn't it, for the family to arrange a wedding?
That is a custom I do not care for. The white man's custom is better. I will choose my own husband.
Well, I agree with you. The white man's custom is better, but on the other hand, I haven't tried the Indian custom.
Is it white man's custom to tie their women?
Princess, I apologize. Stench, your pleasure.
Oh, now, look, lady. Oh!
Hey, come back here! Mingo, grab her!
Excuse me,
Oh,
young lady.
help, please. That white man's trying to kill me.
That white man?
Please, he tried to kill me.
Well, that's Daniel Boone. He wouldn't hurt you. He's my friend.
Your friend?
Yes. Wait.
Hang on to her, Mingo.
Put me down. Put me down.
What the devil is going on here?
This young lady said you tried to kill her.
You've got it the other way around, Mingo. She tried to kill me.
I believe you.
Stench, the white man's custom just changed. Higher up again.
Mr. Boone, I'm beginning to understand what you was talking about. This here woman is downright dangerous.
Daniel, now that you have her tied up, just what do you intend doing with her?
Well, I was supposed to take her to the Shawnee village to marry the chief's son.
A Creek girl marry a Shawnee?
Well, the marriage is supposed to cement lasting peace between the two tribes. Personally, I think it's guaranteed to start a war, providing I can get her there.
Which is something I'd lay odds against.
I think maybe I'd better go along with you.
You'd volunteer after what just happened?
Well, it might be a very interesting trip.
Traitor.
Well, I personally feel it's going to be a very hazardous trip, but if you would like to come along, I'd be most pleased to have your company.
Well, I have some preparations to make.
When do you figure on getting started, Mr. Boone?
Oh, as soon as I get my gear together, about 2 hours, I reckon.
What do you aim to do with her in the meantime?
Do you two think you could keep her under control for a little while?
Well,
No.
Good. Princess, will you promise to behave until I get back?
I will behave myself.
You gonna believe her, Mr. Boone?
Yeah, I reckon I'll believe her.
Providing you untie me.
Untie you? Oh, I don't know. I'd hate to go through all that wrestling again.
Then I will not behave.
All right, gentlemen. Untie her and stand back.
Now, I'm hungry. I would like some food.
Gentlemen, take the princess inside and feed her. I'll be back as soon as I can.
You mean you're gonna leave us all alone?
I've given a promise. Do not break promises.
Mr. Boone, you better hurry and get back here just as soon as you can make it.
Very good. Oh, I should like an apple. Peel it.
Well, now, it seems to me that I heard your father say that this Shawnee chief's son had looked on you with great favor. Now, just where on earth did you ever happen to meet?
At the white man's school.
Oh, you mean you went to school with him?
No, to different schools, but in the same city.
Well, in that case, I should think you two would have a great deal in common.
We have many things in common. Oh, thank you.
Peel it.
But I take it you don't look on him with any great deal of favor.
Oh, I did not say that.
How come you got this all-fired objection to getting hitched to him then?
He has never asked me.
But that sounds very odd because you're a real pretty girl. Now, if I was just 30 years younger and an Indian...
Did she give you any trouble?
No, sir. We've been having a nice, friendly little chat.
I told you I do not break promises.
Well, now, I'm glad to hear that. Shall we get started?
Hi.
Mr. Boone, I just wanted to say that we was both wrong about that little girl. She's a real sweet little lady. Only thing wrong with her is her pride got hurt.
Well, I wish I could depend on that.
Mr. Boone, now that ain't the proper attitude. I've just been telling you.
She did it again.
Seems to me that some men just don't know how to handle women. Or maybe they ain't got my sort of personal charm. You know, Cole?
What?
I've been thinking.
You been what?
I've been thinking. What a shame it is to force that sweet young thing into a matrimonial relationship that she don't approve of.
Is that all?
Give me time to finish. Now, you heard what the chief offered Boone for delivering that girl. What if she were to just up and disappear? I figure it'd be worth quite a sum to Boonesbury to get her back.
You mean you want to steal her?
Just bother her for a little while.
You want to get us both killed?
I want to get us both rich.
But what if she doesn't want to get stole?
You never was a thinking man, was you, Cole? You heard her say that she don't want this marriage. So, if we were to sort of offer to rescue her from a fate worse than death, so to speak, I'm inclined to think she'd come along real peaceful like.
Princess? Are you coming down, or do I have to come up there and get you?
You wouldn't dare.
Bingo, let me have your tomahawk.
Oh, you wouldn't dare.
Well, all you've got to do to find out is just keep sitting right there.
Well, I'm not coming down.
Well, that's where you and I have a little difference of opinion. Mingo, move just a little bit to your left. I think that's where she's going to drop. Sorry, Princess.
Put me down. Go. Oh, let me go.
I've got her, Mingo.
I'm delighted to hear that, Daniel. And now, when you have her all tied up, would you mind lifting this tree off me? Only next time, you catch, I'll chop.
I thought you said you never broke a promise.
I only promised to behave myself until you got back.
Well, at least that answers my question. There's only one thing to do. That's for me to send you back to the fort and get a horse. Time you get tired of riding hanging upside down, you just say the word. Promise you'll behave and I'll turn you loose.
I promise.
Yeah, you begin to make a little sense.
Thank you.
Pleasure's all mine.
Now you may help me mount the horse like a lady. See? I am being very good.
Yes, ma'am.
But I didn't say for how long.
Daniel, look out!
You leave your pack, Mingo, and catch the horse. I'll make camp in the clearing there by the river. The same thing that happens to every young girl that tells lies.
I did not lie. You should have asked me how long.
What I should have done was leave the country the first time I laid eyes on you, but it's a little late for that.
Help me up.
I'm not going to touch you until you promise.
I promise.
Promise what?
I promise to be good.
For how long?
Well, until we've had our supper. Then I will think more about it.
Well, at least we know we'll be safe until then. All right.
Those packs are very heavy. May I help you?
Well, that's very considerate of you. This way, Princess.
Well, the horse is tethered for the night.
Well, why don't you get some firewood, and I'll get the water.
I will get the water.
Isn't that an old Indian custom, letting the women do all the work?
Doesn't your wife ever work?
Come to think about it, she probably does more work than I do.
Then that is also a white man's custom. I will get the water.
You don't think she'll run away, do you, Daniel? Or maybe swim away?
One thing I've got to say for her, she's kept her word on anything we've asked so far. I think most of the time our trouble is that we're not asking the right questions.
I'll get the wood. Come back yet?
No, I haven't seen her, heard her since she left.
It's not that far to the river. You don't suppose something's happened to her, do you, Daniel?
No, I don't think so. But you take a look just in case.
All right. Daniel! 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 Where are you? Daniel! Where are you? Daniel!
What are you doing hanging around here?
Well, what does it look like I'm doing? Cut me loose! Come on, Daniel.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you all right? Let me help you up.
Daniel, I have but one regret.
Yeah, what's that?
I regret that it's considered improper for a man to strike a woman. Say, I wonder if that same rule applies to kicking.
What I want to know is where'd you get the rope?
From my pack.
Oh, you know, you look so funny hanging there.
Well, I'm glad you're amused. I thought you promised you were going to be good.
I have been. Very good.
Yeah!
Well, now, I've thought more about it.
Thought more about what?
About how I will behave.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it. I'd forgotten all about it.
Well, then you've come to some decision.
Yes, I've decided.
I'm glad. Now we can get a little sleep.
Mingo, haven't you forgotten one thing?
Forgotten? What?
The right question.
I'm glad you reminded me. Now then, Princess, exactly what was it you decided?
I've decided to escape.
Well, I'm not going to stay awake all night watching her. Tie her to a tree, Mingo.
I hate to do this, but you give me no choice. Come along.
That one ought to do. Night.
Sleep Princess. Daniel. Hey, look.
Well, you've got to admit she's a woman of her word. Yes. You sure you tied her up real tight?
Oh, quite sure.
Well, either she had a knife or...
Oh. It's the ransom note.
Oh, what does it say?
To whom it may concern, we have the princess. You can get her back for 20 gold sovereigns. Leave the money here. 2 desperate men.
If they're not desperate now, they will be.
Do you think we ought to go look for her?
If we did, we might find her.
I thought of that myself.
The way I figured, if we wait around a day or two, whoever took her might pay us to take her back.
Look, if we didn't look too hard, we might get at least one day of rest.
Mingo, you are a coward.
Daniel, I admit it.
Well, we might as well cache this gear right here. They can't travel too far.
When you finish with the floors, you may start washing the walls. This is a very dirty house.
We didn't plan on staying very long.
It may take them some time to raise the money. And I will not live in a dirty house.
Maybe you could escape.
Why would I want to escape? I have a use for the money. By the way, how much did you ask for me?
20 gold sovereigns?
20?
Too much?
Too much? Why, I'm worth 200 at least.
Oh.
Colin and me thought it was a fair price when we wrote the note.
Well, it's a ridiculous price. You should have asked me.
Asked you?
Look, tonight you will go back and you'll leave another note. This time you'll ask 200 gold sovereigns.
I will?
Yes. And by the way, I should like turkey for dinner this evening.
Turkey? But we don't even own a turkey.
Then hunt one after you've finished here.
They went by boat from here. Now which one of us is going to have to swim the river to cover the other bank?
Oh, I don't think either one of us. An old cabin 3 or 4 miles up ahead. Be my guess that's where they're keeping her. Wonder if the catfish are biting.
Daniel, do me a favor. Walk slowly, so that I can enjoy these fleeting moments of freedom.
I'll walk slowly. I'm no more anxious to get her back than you are. Worms. Probably biting on worms.
Oh, thank you. You know, with a little training, you may both prove quite satisfactory as butlers.
Can we eat now, Your Highness?
After I have finished eating. You will remain standing, one on either side behind me, and with your arms folded, please. That's much better.
It seems you were right, Daniel. Smoke coming from the chimney.
Are you ready and willing?
I'm ready. Oh, what an unpleasant ending for a most pleasant day.
Someone's coming.
Oh, where did we leave that boat?
Call! Where are you going?
For help.
Where's your partner, Stench?
Oh, he's trapped in a cabin with that female tiger.
How did you manage to escape?
Oh, she let me go to bring another note. She didn't think the ransom was big enough.
Well, considering the princess, price was a little short.
Oh, I'm real happy you come along. Now maybe you can save poor Stinch's life.
Why would we want to do that?
Well, you want her back, don't you?
Well, what for?
Oh, to stop an Indian war.
Well, Mingo and I have talked it over, and we've decided that she's more apt to start a war than stop one.
Well, if you don't take her back, what are we going to do with her?
Well, you should have thought of that before you stole her.
Well, we're willing to pay anything within reason, Mr. Boone.
Well, what would you consider within reason?
Well, Stinch and me ain't got much ready cash, but we got a boat and some supplies. Somewhere.
What do you think, Mingo?
Not enough.
No, now you just name a price, and Stinch and me will work it out.
Work it out? Well, that sounds sort of reasonable. I need a lot of firewood cut for this winter.
Oh, anything you say, Mr. Boone.
Well, Call, you just made yourself a bargain.
Oh, you say,
And I will want you to heat the water and draw my bath.
Draw your bath? But we ain't even got anything here for you to bath in.
Then find something, and do not question my orders. Just do as you are told.
Yes, Mum. I mean, Princess.
Go on.
Nice snug little palace you've got here, Princess.
Yes, it's quite comfortable. Did you bring the ransom money?
No, as a matter of fact, Mr. Call is going to pay us to take you off of their hands.
Oh. Have you fellows had supper yet?
Well, as a matter of fact, no.
How would you like to have a nice slice of turkey before we go?
That's very gracious of you, Princess.
Fine.
No, wait a minute. You don't understand. You don't understand.
She's got to be around here someplace.
Yeah, I know a way to flush her out.
There she is. You go around that way, and I'll go this way.
Mr. Boone, you look so funny. Oh, boy.
Then speak.
Don't you Shawnee honor the Quippo of your tribe?
We honor the Quippo.
Well, put that axe down and let me up. I'm wearing one. Now, maybe we can have a little talk.
Why do you travel through the land of the Shawnee with a woman of the creeks?
I'm glad you asked me that. We bring the princess to become the bride of Lone Runner, so that there will be lasting...
For heaven's sake, keep talking, Daniel, or she'll get us all killed.
As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, we bring the princess to the village of the Shawnee so that she will be able to marry the son of the chief and ensure lasting peace between the two tribes. Or maybe we could turn her over to you here, and you could take her the rest of the way.
Go your way in peace.
How do you like that? Even the Indians are afraid of her.
Well, it's not a lack of bravery, Daniel. It's rather an indication of high intelligence.
The horse.
I'll go.
Princess? Well, it's apt to get cold before morning. I think I better go get some firewood.
Yes, you do that.
Excellent dinner, Princess. Did they teach you to cook in the white man's school?
They taught us everything.
Including how to wrestle?
No, my brothers taught me that when I was a little girl.
And that's one phase of your education I wish they'd overlooked.
You too went to a white man's school?
Yes.
In Philadelphia?
Oh, in London.
Oh. Why did you go?
You know, I was just about to ask you the same thing.
It was my mother's wish. She believed that if we were to live peacefully with the white men, some of us would have to learn his customs.
Your mother's a very wise woman.
Yes, she is very wise. But she also obeys my father. He demanded that she bring me home, otherwise I would not have left. Why did you leave?
Well, my father's English. We had a disagreement, too.
Oh. We have much in common, then. In white man dress, you must be very distinguished looking.
Well, thank you very much for the compliment, Princess, but in white man's dress, I look exactly like an Indian in white man's dress.
Do you think I'm pretty?
Oh, yes. Yes, I think you look very pretty. In your non-violent moments.
Do you think I would make a good wife?
You'd make a very good wife. If you could only learn to control your temper.
Yes. I will learn to control my temper. And I accept your proposal.
My what?
I will marry you.
What do you mean?
And now that we're engaged, you may kiss me.
Princess, help! Daniel, where are you? Please, you don't understand, Princess. I didn't really...
What are you two fighting about this time?
She wants to marry me.
Congratulations. You two make a real nice-looking couple.
No, she's serious.
Well, why did you decide to marry Mingo?
Well, he asked me to.
I did not.
He said I was beautiful and that I would make a very good wife. Now, I consider that a proposal.
No!
Well, I'm sorry, Princess, but I've promised to deliver you to the Shawnee, and I aim to keep that promise. There goes the blushing bride. Which one of us is going to run her down this time?
You are. With my luck, I'm liable to catch her. Apparently they're expecting us.
They look peaceful, too, considering what the princess did to that brave.
Red Fox welcomes his friend Boone to the village of the Shawnee.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here, Red Fox. I expect you had word that we were coming.
We had word from our scouts.
Well, in that case, I guess you know what we've come for, too.
My son, Lone Runner, has told me of the Creek Princess. She's welcome here.
You approve of the marriage?
For many years, the Shawnees have fought against the Creeks. There's been too much war. There has been too much killing. Now that you have come, there will be peace.
I did not come here. I was brought here against my will.
Is this true?
Well, I reckon she did object a little from time to time.
Why was this?
Well, I think she can tell you better than I can.
It is my father's wish that this marriage take place. It is not mine.
Why do you not wish it?
Because you have not asked for my hand, as is the custom with the white man. Another has.
I know nothing of this custom.
She speaks the truth, Father. Who is the one who has spoken for your hand?
He is known as Mingo.
Now, what am I supposed to do?
I know one thing you don't do. You don't make her out a liar in front of this crowd.
Uh-oh. Is it true you have asked for her hand? And you have accepted him?
I have not yet decided. His bravery is known to me. I know nothing of yours.
Then I will prove it to you. You are familiar with the white man's customs.
I am.
That is my challenge. The choice of weapons will be yours.
Well, now, wait a minute. There's no sense in having any bloodshed over this.
Yes, especially mine. What do you suggest?
Well, we could have a contest of some sort, maybe a foot race, maybe a wrestling match.
Daniel, why don't you just stay out of this and let me do it my way?
But Mingo.
Just stay out of this. For once in her life, I'm going to teach this young vixen to tell the truth.
And you could get killed doing it.
Well, that's possible.
And it's also possible you might even end up married to her.
They are going to fight for me?
Yeah, that seems to be the general idea.
That is good. It will prove that Lone Runner cares for me.
We'll just have to prove something else before it's over. Come on, Princess.
Have you made your choice?
Your choice of weapon is your own. I choose the whip. Would you mind telling me what brought that on?
She thought that you were going to kill him. Will he help you up?
No. I think I'll just stay here for a while. After the last few days, I'm getting used to it.
Why did you do it?
Because I lied to you. Mingo had never asked for my hand in marriage.
Nor had I. It was I who forgot the white man's custom. So now I will ask you. Will you marry me?
I have meant to marry you since the first day we met. Mr. Boone, I caused you much trouble. I'm sorry for it.
Well, I've got to admit I've taken easier trips. But I've never taken one I'll remember quite as long. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me add my congratulations.
Thank you.
And to you, Princess, may I wish you happiness.
Thank you, Mingo.
Just one thing. How good are you at wrestling?
I was champion at the white man's school.
Well, I'm real glad to hear that because later on it might come in real handy.
Mr. Boone, tua tua.
Little fun.
Borrow a phrase from William Shakespeare. All's well that ends well. Daniel, let's go home.